Now, reason why
what? This is no. I disagree that you have all of these social issues. Don't do a meet and greet where your fans are gonna want to come meet and greet you because now it looks like a money grab. And it may be a money grab. So your fans have a reason to be upset if I pay $1,000 or how much was the meet? I don't know. Whatever the dollar amount was for the meet and greet, and then I come to meet you and greet you, and you stand off. You might not want to shake my hand. Fam, don't do a meet and greet if you know you have social anxiety. Yeah. I see, like Mark said, there's 3 people complaining. And they're probably not the person that was actually. You often don't have a lot of time with the ads. Some parts they have to do with meet and greet. But let's get to math. If we're charging any price that you I've been up the game for a while, so let me shut up. But 100, 150, 175, Chris Brand, and $150 in 20 to 40 cities. Nobody is turning that down because you're an introvert. It adds up. It's most of the time that meet and greet money and the merch money and the after party money are convincing and incentive to even get you to go in the store. Yeah. You counting on that money. You're doing it for the money. Nobody's saying I hate the things I turn, so I'm leaving accordingly to opportunity. And I think I hear this point too. But the reason why I ultimately land on Summer Walker's side on this is simple. And the story is known. It was her first one. And people didn't know. What I can say is all the news you know she is already. That's why I'm like, I was gonna ask that. People that be are crazy. But dog, if somebody spends their bro, am I saying something? No. You're not saying I'm wrong. You're speaking in a perfect world. Yeah. But I don't even think it's a perfect world situation. I mean, the niggas gonna take your money, even if they can't. And then I have a right to bitch when you took my money and then for some shit and you didn't deliver on what I paid you for. I have a right to be mad as a customer and consumer. It's right, she's a little different. Well, I don't agree that she didn't deliver. I mean, we can look a different way. You see why fans doesn't know would be disappointed. The first one look like person beat you. It's probably going to jump on your lap. People take great pictures. I don't expect that from her. So if I sign up for it, it's kind of like yes, you're right to this. I'm crazy complaining in 2026 about her. You know what I mean? Not that I'm wrong. Okay, I know I'm signing up for this. And yeah, sure. And I don't know that. Yeah. Bro. Not only it's like well, that's the other thing. Because you watch what's going on. You started to so now you might walk in with it. And Summer Walker has you know, a little bit different. And wow, this is all I got. Like I mean, some of that stuff looked like some of the people had like drawings. And you know how they come up with that sort of stuff. They couldn't even could have said thank you, took it, put it to the side. I get it. People felt like they got robbed. And I'm thinking, not her. Yeah. take the very last name. They have to pick people.
Excited for you when you first came out because they
That were not just in your community.
The teacher be like, we're going to put her.
honestly, I mean,
the middle of the mall, the middle of anything.
Yeah.
besides the song doing well, and it was the first song that I was up for a Grammy for, besides any of that, I didn't know that years later people would see me and they wouldn't necessarily
Mill Slick Rick mixed with Dana Dane. How could you still got such a strong accent after being here for you see?
You know, when I go to Puerto Rico, born there, like, are you more considered American in London or
in my life, I've actually spent more time in the United States than I have in the country of my birth. Because I left here pretty much, you know what I mean? I came here after I got a record deal. I got a record deal at 16. And then I came here when I was like 17. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you and Slick Rick, because Slick Rick grew up in the Bronx. I think he might have came even younger than you.
He came when he was a toddler. He must have came when he was like 4 or 5 or something like that, because we didn't even, in England, we developed our own scene based on what was happening in the United States at the time. We watched wild style, movies. We watched break dance. We watched Beach Street. We were enthralled and totally absorbed into the culture to the point where we created our own pseudo hip hop scene in England and all the surrounding areas, and then all the way in all the countries in Europe. That's how much in love with the culture that came from the United States that we were. So we didn't even know that we could embrace Slick Rick as our own when we were listening to Slick Rick on the radio. We didn't realize. And then we started to realize, oh, wow, he's originally from 5 or something like that, because it's not like he grew up and we came to know of Slick Rick in England before coming to America.
Growing up in London, right? Because we have guests all the time, legends and all that. Everybody's story is similar but unique. So at 16, and you come over here, and it pops off.
Yeah.
Culture from watching movies recorded. You know what I'm saying? Like, we would listen to Red Alert and stuff like that, but it would sound like eggs and bacon cooking when we're listening to it, because it's like been dubbed a good 15 times.
A lot of air in it.
You know what I mean? And so we fell in love with the culture. We created our own scene, and then we started putting on our own little shows in England as young teenagers, and then at the same time, what was happening in England, and they wanted to sign their own artists also. So a lot of us were getting record deals in England. So I got my first record deal with Chrysalis Records, which was later swallowed by EMI Records.
Yeah.
But Chrysalis Records is where I had my original deal, and that was at 16 years old. Like, my parents had to sign my recording contract. And my dad.
Yeah.
Okay? You met my dad at the Palladium, right, in New York. It's just a whole nother story I'll tell you, right?
Yeah.
But
great thing.
so my Jamaican Rastafarian father looked at this contract and was like, I wear this. And was like, nah, sign this. I wear this. What kind of contract is this? Like, my dad was not impressed. It took some going back and forth with another attorney to straighten out some stuff that my dad was looking at before my father.
In them days, nothing was straight. Not get robbed.
Nope.
I could break down Missy Elliott. I could break down Jelly Raleigh got robbed and he went and robbed them over there. Everybody got robbed and robbed and robbed and robbed.
Rob Bass got robbed?
Who?
Rob Bass.
Did he?
I don't know. I never said Rob Bass.
Yeah, no, I just asked.
Well, I used to be on the 132nd and he from the projects right there. What's that? Washington Projects? On the 132nd and Park Avenue. Rob Bass is from there.
Okay.
132nd, bro. Track us to Harlem with Rob Bass.
How we get to Harlem from
Little sidetrack.
I talk too much. How do you come over here and you connect with the legendary Native Tongues? And did that happen? How did you get into that crew right there?
So Dave Klein, that used to work for Def Jam, God rest his soul, was like an ambassador and used to bring artists from the United States to England and the surrounding European countries to do mini tours. And he brought over Queen Latifah and the Jungle Brothers on one particular tour. It was Queen Latifah, the Jungle Brothers, Chill Robbery, and True Mathematics. They all came over to do a mini tour. They went to Germany first, and then on a tour bus, on a ferry, came over to London, and then was doing shows in London. I was rhyming to Latifah, rhyming to Africa, them getting the gist of who I am and that I was indeed dope at some point. And then it was 8 months later that me and Latifah recorded Ladies First at Power Play Studios in Queens.
What does ladies first mean to you?
For me, when we did Ladies First, it was, I'm here. I'm rhyming on this. This is dope. And I'm going to spit and it's going to be dope. That's what it was for me. Latifah had a bigger plan. She had a bigger plan. And now in hindsight, when we do shows together, because we still do shows together, Latifah is like a mad scientist where she'll call me, Yo-Yo, Light, and Rage, like out the blue. And it'll be like we form Voltron. Like she'll be like, what are you doing such and such a day? All right, let me call Yo-Yo. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing, Rage? And we'd be like, we're with it. And we'll just all go out to wherever Latifah is and we'll form Voltron and get on stage and do this like 2-hour ensemble show.
Crazy.
Which is crazy, right? But Latifah always seems to have this like this mad, the rhymaholic, this write a verse. This is how excited I was. I would write a verse, right? And then be like, la, listen to this. I'd go over to her corner and be like, and then say the rhyme, right? She'd be like, yo, that's dope. I'll be like, and then she'd kick me hers. I'd be like, yo, that's dope. We run back to our respective corners. We write another 8 bars. Yo, listen to this. Come back to each other. I spit the next 8 bars. She spit the next 8 bars. Excited as ever. We did the whole session like that. The whole session was just electric.
Yeah, they losing that now. Now they send your shit to Colorado. Yeah. It's not in your face no more. It's not that energy. I forgot who came up here and was like, yo, we was in the, I think, everybody.
In there, help
I'm
you
glad
say
you
that
said
part.
that.
Yeah, right?
I'm glad you said
to make it stronger.
I'm glad you brought up FloJo. I bet that you have absolutely no idea how we, especially us native tongues, looked at you and loved you and was so excited for you when you first came out. Because there's a huge bloodline between you and native tongues. I bet you didn't even know that.
No, I want to hear it. How do we know? Giving me goosebumps.
You're Chris's artist.
That's right.
Do you know
Chris started with them.
Chris was our road manager before he made any business moves as far as having an office, as far as having Violator Records, as far as having, I'm getting choked up just thinking about this right now. Chris was our road manager. Chris was one of the Violators as far as Red Alert's posse. That's who the Violators are. You know what I'm saying? I remember us walking all of Native Tongues, all the groups, De La, Jungle, Tribe, me, Latifah, walking into a venue one night. And this is how the Violators and the Bronx, and me coming from England, I'm looking at all of this like, yo, are we being road managed by the mafia? Like, what's going on right now?
Definitely the mafia.
Because the Violators walk up in the venue with these long leather puff trenches and with the belts, sit us in a room, all the groups, like I just named, sit us in a room, wait here. Nobody touches a mic. Nobody shows their face to the public. Nobody does nothing until we get this bread. Stay in this room. Violators walk off. Chris walks off. A couple of them stay with the rest of us. Chris comes back. Everybody out. Huh? We not performing? Nope. Everybody out. Right? And basically what that is if we get in the building and the venue money ain't right, Chris is like, nobody's touching a mic. Nobody's touching nothing. The promoters are looking at, it's the Jungle Brothers. It's De La Soul. It's Tribe Called Quest. Everybody's here. This show's going to be crazy. You can't, they going to tear my club up. Chris is like, that's not my problem. You ain't got my money right. Everybody out. Chris has always been thorough. So it was no surprise to me that he then made his business moves and created Violator Records. And then when he put you out, we're all looking at you like, that's our little brother. That's our little brother, and we are super proud of him. Look at this.
Wow. You know, the man put me on, man. Changed my life. You know, he came, I was in the streets, signed me. And what was crazy now that you saying that, right? Because I know Chris from the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I did an album, because he was involved with my first 3 albums, even though I wasn't signed to him for Don Cartagena, we still had this ritual. We sit in the car and I play him the album. If it wasn't gangster, Chris ain't want to hear. He'd be like, yo, Fat Joe the gangster, fuck that. I need some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, he used to sit there. I don't think he ever wanted me to be commercial. He'd be like, yo, Fat Joe the gangster. I need the hard shit sitting there. Yeah, this, that shit. He was just so proud of us, like everybody, like DJ Khaled was Terror Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went and made We the Best. So if you about the culture and you really love your brothers, you get happy for them to,
Absolutely.
D-Block
Yes.
from Rough Riders.
Yeah.
So even though I went and did my own thing, Chris Lighty would come to the album release for Big Pun. Now he felt like you saying, yo, that's our little brother. He don't know it. He would show up when they saying Fat Joe's the Terror Squad, the Don. He would always show up and he'd be like, yo, I'm proud of you. And then walk out the joint.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Russell Simmons was like that too. Russell Simmons, every time we did some Terror Squad album release or something, he come show his cheekbone for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a flag.
This
I'm good on that?
Yeah, you good on that.
You know, they got these things here that you could throw whenever you get upset or whatever. Moni's chilling, man. She ain't down with that shit. You know what I mean?
Do I have that?
Yeah, you have it. Everybody has it.
I do. Okay.
The way they usually do it is any guest that comes, they tell you ahead of time before we record.
Oh, nobody.
Joe says some dumb shit, throw it at him.
Nobody.
They don't say Jada Kiss. They say Fat Joe's going to say some dumb shit, throw it at him.
That was originally made for you.
Flag on the play.
I want to ask you this, because you see how hip hop and the game evolved with female MCs.
Mm-hmm.
Now it became almost like, civil. They have a chokehold on the game for a nice amount of time.
Yeah.
But when it seemed like Native Tongue's time, it was very protected of you and La and whoever. Even the females that wasn't Native Tongue, it seemed like, I don't know, is it the money? Is it the success of now or that change? Even though some, it's still, we gonna make sure the females is always good if we somewhere in Ramsdale or anybody there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's just because we from a different cloth, but I'm talking about as the game. Hip hop as a whole now is, when the females is rocking, it's just like the female is not, you see what I'm saying? They segregated the game.
I think I know what you're saying. Are you saying that, like, you've noticed that a lot of the successful women seem to be kind of just like rolling and not necessarily with their male brothers and counterparts like it used to kind of be, like families rolling, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Is that more or less what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I definitely think that women do have a really strong chokehold on the forefront of the game right now. Like, I really do see that. I can't be mad at it. I think that there's just a lot more independent artists, not independent artists like putting independent records out. I mean, just independent entities. It's less kind of like family rolling. You know what I'm saying? Less where your crew, you got Remy and it's all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And you're rolling like that. It's Native and it's me a lot and we're rolling like that. I think
more, yeah, you're right. It is more.
I think it's more individualism entities like that.
You know what I was thinking about? We're in Miami for the big college game. UM, Indiana. Incredible experience.
Incredible.
And
understatement.
I'm standing on the sideline and I see all the legends, right? And they amping up these kids. These kids are what, 18, 19? And something that came to me, do you think they watch footage of these legends? Like a young kid, 18, 19, does he go back and says, why is this OG keep screaming at me, telling me what to do?
Nah, they know.
Do they go to the videotape?
I think they know. I think the coaches, like Coach Rich and them will show them tapes. And then the ones that want to make it, they really want to see who their forefathers was at that position. Last time they won the chip, who was the best at this
I think so.
particular
'Cause my
position.
thing is,
You know what I mean?
it starts here, right? The females, do they go back and be like,
the lady first.
when they listen to us, we be like, yo, Modi's a legend, Latifah's a legend. Do they go back and say, let me check out what they were doing at that time?
Okay. So do y'all think that
I
the
think
younger,
certain
the
ones
newer
do.
guys do that?
No,
With y'all?
I think certain ones. Like,
Now
And
they
that's-
call
and-
me,
and
they
that's-
call me
and
the
that's-
interview guy at the
like
gas
Rhapsody.
station.
But that's why I asked
Rhapsody
you that.
knows everything, every one of your projects, everything from Lie, everything from somebody like that.
Who?
Then it,
Who? Say her name again?
Rhapsody,
And that's why.
no doubt.
She's an anomaly.
A fact. But you asked me to give you one.
No, but that's what the reason why. Am I going to get a flag right now? I get a flag? I get a flag?
Ah, ah.
But that's
Fucking with Modi.
that's why I asked you that specifically, because you said, key thing that you said is some.
Mhm.
That's the key. Some.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think that the viral explosion and just the bigness of the internet and social media and everything has allowed a lot of folks to feel like, a lot of folks that's been here a lot less time, to feel like they know everything.
Mm.
And so that's why, it's some people do their research. And I say that not to be snotty or snidey or anything like that. I say it because in any field, not just music, in any field, in any business, in any occupation, it behooves a person to know what came before them, because it helps them to do what they do even better. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to learn everything from your own accord. You can learn some stuff from some other people. That's why it's called research.
Life. Saving my life.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, in Fat Joe's wicked way of thinking, you know, a guy like Floyd Mayweather, his uncle, his father were champs. And Floyd
That's a
Mayweather
good
became
thing.
dead nice. But Floyd watched a lot of tape.
Okay.
I watched one fight where he was doing the Floyd and he was losing like 6 rounds in a row. I think some Mexican guy was on him. And he switched up the whole style like in the 7th round and he started doing some other shit. He beat the guy senseless for the rest of the fight. When they interviewed him, he was like, yo, I mean, he was ready for me and I switched up to Jack Dempsey. You know, like I thought about the fight Jack Dempsey and I don't know if it was Jack Dempsey, but he said one of them old guys.
Looking at.
And he was like, yo, from watching the film, I had to figure out who I had to fight like to beat this guy. Because if I'm just straight up Floyd Mayweather, he got my number. So about the 6th round, he just switched the whole style up on him and was like, killed him. But he was like, and I remember I was looking, I said, damn, he really watches the footage.
Case in point. That's it right there. And and that was a beautiful analogy. Because you're talking about boxing, which is another fine art within itself. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And to bring it back to hip hop, how you think when the DJ battles were going down, right? Back in the days, and how you think they got nice enough to be able to get to the world final championships and go up against each other? It's because they're all sitting watching tapes. I said it in another interview one time. They're sitting, Clark Kent would sit in his basement and have some of us sit there in his basement and watch videotapes of other DJs and their routines and see, look, you see when Jazzy Jeff did this right here, Moni, you see, and I'm sitting there like, I'm an MC. Why am I here? You know what I'm saying? Y'all are DJs. Why am I here? No, but I'm right there.
He did the scratches on Flojo.
See?
Raider was like down with digging in the crates.
Absolutely.
I don't know exactly how, but he was down with us. And whenever we needed scratches, I'd be like, yo, Rock, he was the coolest guy in the world.
And Rock Raider's nasty. Rock Raider was nasty. Like, I know this. I remember this.
Why he
You know
killing
what I'm
that
saying?
shit, and he be smiling while he doing the moves and them routines. Like, Rock Raider was like super smooth.
And so it was the same thing with MCing. Same thing. Like, for me, I used to listen to Set It Off by Big Daddy Kane, like how singers have people that they do the scales with, singers and trainers that be, let's do the scales and stuff like that to get their voices right. I used to listen to Big Daddy Kane Set It Off to get myself right because it was a choppy, let it roll, get bold. I just can't hold, you know what I'm saying? And I would be doing that. Rock the discotheque and the groove is what's next. You know what I'm saying? Get your mouth right. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I developed a style to be on some, excuse me, but I think I'm about to. I get into precisely what I am about to do. I'm conversating to the folks who have no whatsoever clue. So listen very carefully as I break it down for you. Mary, 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 Mary. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
To bring it back to what you're saying, absolutely. The study of what comes before you is what helps to make you great at what you do in any field.
Clark forced you to learn how to DJ. Did you?
Yeah.
What did you take with that?
It gave me a deeper respect for hip hop in itself because I started in London when we first embraced the culture. I wasn't rhyming at first. I was breaking. I was a B-girl.
B-girl.
No doubt.
Yes.
Me too.
Right? So it allowed me to embrace another element of the culture when Clark was like, no, you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to bring a record back. You're going to learn how to recognize it. Here, I put the tape markings on it. That's the one. Bring it back to the one. Flip the fader. Bring it back to the one. Flip the fader. Put the earphones on one side. Have the other ear kind of open so you can hear what's going on. Bring it back. Flip the fader. Bring it back. Flip the fader. You know what I'm saying? Cut it back. Cut. Taught me around.
Tell you something.
You know,
graffiti. I just hit a train.
I know you do.
I hit a train the other day. The New York City train.
The other day?
Yeah, we snuck in the
With
yard.
a can?
Huh? With spray paint, man. You don't know I'm a graffiti.
I watch you doing your
That
shit.
I-
No, I'm gonna show you the pictures. I hit a
I
train
believe
the
it,
other
though.
day. Me and Bio, but listen. So graffiti.
Some of the
B-boy,
best boys came out the
But
Bronx.
one thing I try to do is DJ, and that sucked. I've never, ever successfully nowhere. And I used to go to Serge's house every day, and I just sucked. Like there's nothing. I can't DJ.
But you
How about
can
that?
write.
Huh?
But you can graph. You write.
Yeah.
Tag.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can.
I write.
Okay. Well, then you got that. You got two. I
Yeah.
got two. You
Three.
was
I
a
MC.
B-boy.
Yeah.
You was
Now
a
we
B-boy.
can break down.
Yeah, I still got.
You was a B-boy.
I still can get on the floor.
We got fluidity.
I mean, I still got fluidity. Yeah, I got women.
Listen.
Today's show brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet, Florida's best sports book. I know it's tough with no football, but like the song says, I will survive. Hard Rock Bet, always something to bet every single night. Hoops, hockey, so much more. All the great same-game parlays, live betting, player props. Hard Rock Bet is the official sports betting partner of the Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic, so they know their basketball as well. If you haven't signed up yet for Hard Rock Bet, never been a better time. Sign-ups, double your winnings on your first 10 bets, maximum $50. If you would have won $200 in your bet, make that $200. Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook, only legal sportsbook for wherever you're in Florida, or you also, if you live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Michigan, coming soon to more states. Hard Rock Bet's got new promos daily. Whenever you're listening, just open the app, check it out. Any day of the week, download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit.
Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida and Florida offered by the Seminole Hard Rock Digital LLC and all other states must be 21 and over and physically present in Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Illinois, Indiana, New Jersey, Ohio, Tennessee, or Virginia to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling in Florida? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. In Indiana, if someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, New Jersey, Ohio, Tennessee, and Virginia.
This month, iHeartRadio is celebrating the stars of the 2026 Winter Games. Training out of Carlsbad, California, Kaylee Humphreys is the definition of a track legend. Already one of the most successful bobsledders in history, she returns to the driver's seat for Team USA with her eyes locked on the podium. Navigating the twisting ice at 80 miles per hour requires nerves of steel and perfect precision. As the reigning monobob champion, Humphreys is back to show the world that she still owns the fast lane. For more Winter Games gold, search Olympics on the iHeartRadio app.
On Deck is built to back small businesses like yours. Whether you're buying equipment, expanding your team, or bridging cash flow gaps, On Deck's loans up to $400,000 make it happen fast. Rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau and earning thousands of 5-star Trustpilot reviews, On Deck delivers funding you can count on. Apply in minutes at OnDeck.com. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by On Deck or Celtic Bank. On Deck does not lend in North Dakota. All loans and amounts subject to lender approval.
All right. 2 truths and a lie. Here we go. I went to college with college football coach Jim McElwain. I began my broadcasting career doing play-by-play for the Las Vegas Stars, and I've been a Verizon customer for 15 years. Okay, I lied. All 3 are true. Verizon isn't as expensive as you think. In fact, if you bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store, they'll give you a better deal. That's right, a better deal on the best network with the most ways to save on plans, streaming, and phone deals. So take that AT&T or T-Mobile bill to your local Verizon store today. Get a better deal and start saving. Based on root metrics, best overall mobile network performance, U.S. second half 2025. All rights reserved. Must provide recent consumer mobile bill and the name of the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
Picture this. Me, Reese Witherspoon, in London, ordering fish and chips so often they might start wrapping me in paper. I'm traveling with my Wells Fargo autographed Journey card, so I earn rewards wherever I book travel. 5 times points with hotels, 4 times with airlines, 3 times on restaurants and other travel, and 1 point on other purchases. Imagine getting rewarded for eating a toad in the hole. Wait, what is a toad in a hole?
Visit wellsfargo.com/autograph journey. Terms apply.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
Let's tap back to like social media. If you think now is the birth of only love and there's social media, do you think your career would have been super amplified more now that there's social media?
Honestly, I think any of us from my era or y'all, because I'm the big sister. Y'all my little brothers. You know what I mean? So go back to me, go back to your big sister and all of my set. If we had the platform of all of these platforms now, absolutely everything would have just been magnified for sure. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And who do you think there's a female artist that does social media well, uses it now, and you be like, man, she know how to play that game.
Oh, we all know that's Cardi.
Cardi does, yeah.
I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Wrap it up for Cardi utilizing.
That's a no-brainer. She could wake up first thing in the morning and don't even be any of her outfits yet. And it's a top post. Because there's always a level of relatability in there. You know what I mean? She just, without even trying. You know what I mean?
I always said people loved her first, and then she made great music, and then it's out again.
I think that's poignant.
First.
Yeah.
And then she just hit it out the block with that Bodak
Did
Yellow.
like her first.
Yeah, we like.
Thank you for saying that. Me about Cardi is, regardless to the fact that she's not my age group, right? So like some people would be like, well, how do you relate to Cardi B at all? For me, it's her mothering. When she wakes up and she has her whatever gripes she's having that morning about being a mom, or the kids is doing this or acting up or whatever, and oh, I got to get this. And kids in her parent world, for me, and I had 4 kids, you know what I'm saying? At her age, I didn't, no, Cardi beat me a little bit. I wasn't I spread mine out a little bit more.
She moved.
But I do have the same amount of kids as well.
Cardi might come next week. I'm pregnant again, guys. I think she's the first female that ever intentionally got pregnant in her prime and still worked and went on tour pregnant, still popped
So intentionally, maybe. But first, no. That was me. and you can pull up the tape from Arsenio. You can pull up the tape from.
You was pregnant on
Hell
Arsenio.
yeah, I was on Showtime at the Apollo talking about Moni in the middle, really in the middle, Moni in the middle, really in the middle.
That's a fun fact.
Pull the tape up. I'm glad you said that because that's another reason. One of my early reasons why I related to Cardi, because when she was pregnant that first time and came out and was like on stage and publicly and everything, I was like, because I understood it, because I was there. I was in that exact position on stage, front, doing everything on Arsenio Hall.
The thing they used to do in hip hop, and they probably still do it. That's why I hate these people. The business always got like a stereotype, like a female artist can't have a boyfriend.
Oh no, they shamed us. They shamed us. Especially in my time, they shamed us. Like the record label, I was signed to Chrysalis in England, but I was signed to Warner Brothers for the United States and Canada. And I was pretty much, without them actually saying it, like I was 3 months pregnant with my daughter that's in here, my oldest one now, right? She's 34. I was 3 months pregnant with her, and the label reps were like, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, I said, I'm 3 months pregnant. What you mean what I'm going to do? Well, you know, what are you going to do? And I'm like, it means I'm having a baby. Like, what you not saying it?
Trying to say it without
saying it. You know what I'm saying? The record rep at the time. And I was just like, I was 19.
Very sexist business.
I was, because it was that summer around my birthday that I found out, right? And so she was born right before I turned 21, right? Because I was 20 when I
Oh, they got a little radio tuned in to Hot 97. You go over there and vice versa.
So, Moni, tell me a couple of female artists that you respect their contribution to the game, from day one till now.
Oh, I love this question, Pebbly Poo, because that time when I was a baby in the game,
please believe it,
because she was fairly time doesn't matter. So watching her and listening to her, that gave me today, to me, took a page out of Salt and Pepper's book.
Oh man, Salt and Pepper's
because they were really, they were the
we need Salt and Pepper. They beyond legendary.
Yeah. And Light. I went to school with Light. And I was going to high school with her. Yes, she was a superstar. She was rhyming. Yes.
Going to high school.
Yes. Kid, phenom, MC.
Wow.
Yeah. MC Light.
Yeah, but is that around the time Special Lad was killing? Yo, Special Lad, remember we used to think he had like a fake hand, right?
Who used to think Special Ed had a fake hand?
That was a rumor they had that in the starter.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, he always had his hand inside. You was down with him. So
he had his hand inside in the
video. 3. Yo.
I didn't know that.
So
That's crazy.
Light is just incredible. I like where she's at in life.
Yeah.
Where her voice, she's doing voiceovers now for movies, awards, shows, everything. And she's producing and directing movies.
A lot of stuff, yeah. But so, she was that kid back then that was just like, you still in high school and you tearing up a club on a Friday night. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Light was, and I didn't tell her that I could rhyme. I was at George Wingate High School for like 6 months. My mother moved here. I was living at my grandparents' house on East 28th Street between Clarendon and Cotillion in Brooklyn. And I went to the high school and I met Light and we were cool, but I did not tell her that I could rhyme because with stories about being up, then I told her, I also do this.
Wow.
Yeah, it was then. And then, we got tight as far as on the artistic level also. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, she was that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were the ones that I would, those would definitely be.
What was your first big show?
OnDeck is built to back small businesses like yours. Whether you're buying equipment, expanding your team, or bridging cash flow gaps, OnDeck's loans up to $400,000 help make it happen fast. Rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau and earning thousands of 5-star Trustpilot reviews, OnDeck delivers.
With college football coach Jim McElwain, I began my broadcasting career doing play-by-play for the Las Vegas Stars, and I've been a Verizon customer for 15 years. Okay, I lied. All three are true. Verizon isn't as expensive as you think. In fact, if you bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store, they'll give you a better deal. That's right, a better deal on the best network with the most ways to save on plans, streaming, and phone deals. So take that AT&T or T-Mobile bill to your local Verizon store today. Get a better deal and start saving. Based on root metrics, best overall mobile network performance, U.S. second half 2025. All rights reserved. Must provide recent consumer mobile bill and the name of the person redeeming.
So I earn
on air on Power with Nas and all of that, that's
you
why
I was thinking, I just got a better job. But
the Summer Jam, like
I knew that shit was a crock of shit when I went to
listening to whatever. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Go to Power.
Light. I went to school with Light.
What?
She was a super.
She was rhyming. Yes.
Going to high school.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And on Friday nights, get special ability to be able to be that young and be able to walk up in Latin quarters and all of that.
Kill it. Oh,
I was so jealous. I would hear the story.
That was her world. Like, she had that.
She was a kid phenom MC.
Wow.
Yeah. MC like.
Yeah, but is that around the time Special Lad was killing? Yo, Special Lad. Remember we used to think he had like a fake hand, right?
Who used to think Special Ed had a fake hand?
That was a rumor they had that in the starter.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, he always had his hand inside. You was down with him. So
he had his hand inside in the video for I Got It Made because in winter at Grand Army Plaza.
That's when they first. That was the.
Yeah.
where her voice, she's doing voiceovers now for movies,
Yeah.
award shows, everything. And she's producing and directing movies.
A lot of stuff, yeah. Still in high school and you tearing up a club on a Friday night. Like, what?
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Like was, and I didn't tell her that I could rhyme. I was at George Wingate High School for like 6 months. My mother moved here. I was living at my grandparents' house on East 28th Street between Clarendon and Cotillion in Brooklyn. And I went to the high school and I met Light and we were cool, but I did not tell her that I could rhyme because I'm like, she comes to school on a say. I have nothing. I'm not telling her that I even utter, much less. It wasn't till I went to England and then she came over there doing shows and obviously knew me because we went to high school. And then I told her, I also do this.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, it was then. And then, you know, we got tight as far as on the artistic influence. Me, put the battery in, you know, those would definitely be.
What was your first big show?
Every day.
OnDeck is built to back small businesses like yours. Whether $1,000, help make it happen fast. Rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau and earning thousands of at OnDeck.com, depending on
McElwain. I began my broadcasting career doing play-by-play for the Las Vegas Stars, and I've been a Verizon customer for 15 years. Okay, I hear T-Mobile bill and start saving mobile bill and the name of the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
London, ordering fish and chips so often, points with hotels, 4 times with airlines.
A tag washer lasted over 37 cycles. That's a minimum of 30 years. From repairs to upgrades, call A1 Garage for service today or schedule online at a1garage.com.
I repeat, not everything is terrible.
Currency is service and mentoring. Our current Cougs Care became.
It's like magic, you guys. So put down your doom scroller and a reminder that you can start a ripple that changes everything. You really can.
The response we got was huge. The camaraderie we got was huge. This project.
Listen to The Ripple Effect with Jenna Kim Jones on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, your first big show.
Yo, my first big show was at the New Music Seminar when I performed Ladies First with Latifah for the first time. It was at some high school in Manhattan. Exact. Show off.
DJ battles, everything.
DJ battles.
I can't had a battle. And we was online and he had my vinyl for my album. I'm like, yo, my man, my album wasn't even out for like 4 months after. I'm like, how you get the vinyl? He was like, yo, I'm a DJ. We became tight from there.
That's it.
So way before that, because, you know, you got to remember, I'm old because Tommy Boy. So I was there, I performed, and I never, what? And that's what I did, and I was scared, and I didn't want to come out the bathroom. Special ed. Like Latifah tore it down when she did like, yo, I didn't know you could rhyme like that. Yeah. Only reason why she did it, because she flat out was, I'm not messing with this no more, Mo. I'm so far removed from you and for Guru and for hip hop. And that's the only reason why she got on that hook.
I respect that.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Keith, man, my brother. I love him.
Yeah, man. That was a tribute to him. Mm-hmm.
You know, shout out to E-Love.
Always special.
In every video. Like, we knew this is E. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace to E.
You know, that's crazy because the way you just did that, that's how I always looked at Eric B.
I thought he was the originator.
I thought he was the originator.
He might be the originator of Ice Grill, though.
He was the originator of Ice Grill. He was one of the originators of Fly. They had all the jury on. He was the first one with, like, I don't know. I'm just saying, because when I say, like, historical facts, Melly Mel will come in the DM. Somebody come and be like, yo,
somebody come for you.
Because, like you said, Joe's our little brother. Everybody feels like that. So if I say something and the timeline ain't accurate,
I love this show, right? So I watched the show. And I saw Joe say something one day when he was like, you know, when Dayla was on here. And I was like, and Joe was like, you know, I wish she would have came out with something on her own. And I was like, I was at a radio station event for the station, because I'm on KISS 104.1 in Atlanta from 3 at an event for Pops looked so confused in the clip, right? Because it's like he's thinking about it, but it's like, so then I was like, I filmed myself saying, Joe, come on, Joe. I was
super with
No, I didn't miss none of that.
Oh, no, you still.
No, I didn't miss none of that. I didn't miss none of that. I was just like, I'm going to get him in his ribs. I was like, I'm going to get Joey in his ribs.
I got that message from you. I was confused.
No, because
I'm going to get the thermals and 145th blue jeans, and I'm
see that is how far Joe goes back with me, right? Let me make it make sense to your viewers. So I had 2 albums out, Joe. I'm gonna help you out. We gonna help you out, right? Like that. Now, to the average person that doesn't know our history, that doesn't know our connection, and it's fair. I don't expect everybody to know, right? That's fair. But the one thing that I do not like about of entire avenues for several artists, kinds of wild stuff to me, right? About how I'm speaking to Joey. You don't skip something, miss something in your first move to Miami. I had no radio job. I left Philly. I was doing radio in Philly. I left Philly. I went to Miami at the time. Took us out to his mansion. Fed us, took care of us. Was like, what do you need? They put together a care package for us because we're newly in Miami, right? With no, give us a care package, pots, pans, towels, necessities, everything that you need in a brand new apartment. But again, I don't expect anybody to know this off the back. But the point to what I'm saying is relax on social media, okay? No, seriously, yeah, relax. Because the people
started... He said, I'm going to stop attacking the guys that do that. He said, last time he told me, yo, I need you to stop, Joe. Stop attacking these guys. I'm like, he's like, yo, Joe, I'm letting Moni
saying wild stuff towards me, and people were saying wild stuff towards you. And I was like, that wasn't my intent with my post.
And what I told Moni immediately was like, Moni, we fucking love you. We worship you. Sometimes yo, look, I can't even with this. It's an energy, right? It's an energy. And now it's actually, I got his demo played on nobody. They had beef. I took his said like that, but he was already bubbling in the streets. But it's an energy. So Fat Joe got Flow Joe, and then LL Cool J puts me on I Shot You. So you hear it coming. This happens with every artist. It's an energy. And I've always felt like your energy for being on Buddy and Ladies First and all that, maybe if now you'd have been even bigger than you were. That's what I was trying to allude to.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get out. Like saying, like, Moni Love, to me, of course we know you legendary. Of course we know you got classic albums. Of course we know. But,
He clarified that. You see? All you got to do is give him some time. He clarified.
How long was it?
6 months.
I know it wasn't.
Or 4 months.
Yeah. First thing he did, he walked in, you got to apologize. I'm like, apologize for what?
No.
What did I
do? For the
do?
viewers. This is all stuff we know. They don't
know. Yeah.
And
stuff
they think
they
know
don't know.
shit off comments, like she just said.
Yeah, you know what? There's a resurgence in originators. Like this year we had De La, we had Ghost. We had
Salt.
Nas. And
Salt
drop a joint.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You have a project.
Kwame.
And for a long, Kwame?
Yeah, he got
Kwame,
a joint now. Different kids. He got a joint now. Yeah.
I used to love Kwame, man. And here they don't let me cut people off. Yeah, that's a new one.
Okay.
You said you used to play.
We gotta wait for Evergreen episode.
Evergreen episode?
Chubb was the first person that was going to sign with Chubb. Chubb was our first. He's Chubb's first.
I remember making my first album.
Wait a minute. You can't just say that and then be like, ew. No, you got to tell us.
Bring that thing in.
Okay, Dave, make that happen.
It's a big day for me. Like, right?
You gave me the key to this city. This wasn't my city.
What?
Because I see that key made DMX.
They gave DMX. Yeah, they gave it to
X. Or some shit, right?
We got days, all of that. They didn't give. I think they might have gave it to P. P might got a key, but YO never gave me shit.
That's crazy.
They gave me Jersey
I seen
City.
a new building in Ohio.
Oh my God.
State of the art. Get out.
City. You see,
They ain't got fluidity.
the outside looks
look
marvelous.
good.
The inside.
It's like that building you lived in Jersey. The fucking apartment was this little, but it was the flyest building.
Oh my God.
You never let me say my story.
I'm sorry.
So while I got the key to the city, he just happens to be standing on stage. I stopped the whole shit. And I told him how much he influenced me in front of everybody. You know, the Bronx was out there, so I was like, yo, child. Because a lot of time as men, right, in this type of business, we don't really sit people down and tell them how much they influence us or how much, we'll say what's up, we'll be cordial.
I hear that.
But we don't grab them and be like, yo, look, when I did that represent tape, I
Get your broke Jones
line on that was remember Yusuf Hawkins.
Yeah, we was just talking about him today too.
And I seen Sean Bell. If y'all don't know who Sean
Where is
Bell
that,
the
Netflix?
kid got killed a day before his wedding in New York City back in the day. So his wife, now I'm mature, whatever. But back in the days, I was the most harassed person from the police in the universe. And I by the cops more than you could ever think in your life. So they invite me one day to a Black Lives Matter police summit. And I come up in there. I was in the crowd watching all this. So when they put me on a panel, and it was like, yeah, this, that, and they think I'm Fat Joe the Rapper, and I said, bullshit.
Oh.
Like, they knew the police knew. Oh, he came on bullshit. I'm telling the man, Louima, Sean Bell, he's the wrong guy to bring up Baez. They were like, oh, no, he know too much. Like, let's get him off the stage. But, a line like that, the dying politicians lying, and I'm trying to, and I'm sitting there like, yo, what the fuck?
The clock showdown halfway through and start talking and dropping all that knowledge, not in
Still
song
have the
form.
people captive.
Oh, nobody left. Nobody left.
Nobody. And then he got, who else did that? Nas. Nas with that kid, he was missing that in hip hop today. People dropping them type of jewels where the next generation, with Rich the Barber, and I was like, yo, they chopped off the noses in the statues in Egypt because they had black noses.
Nigga noses.
Tell us.
But they chopped their nose off.
Oh, yeah.
And
Did anybody ever find their nose?
Iron Sheik was sorry that the people said I didn't cap. I never knew Iron Sheik got arrested.
Did somebody just say nobody knows?
Nobody know. I told the story last time, Iron Sheik. We bumped into Iron Sheik, the wrestler. And he was from Iran. So he comes by with some Mexican dudes. They drinking liquor. He asked for some liquor, perhaps some liquor. They gave him liquor.
Something he
They
drank.
saw him smoking weed. 30 minutes later, he come by. Perhaps some weed. He came back 30 minutes later. He said, perhaps something for the nose. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yo, don't give the Iron Sheik so. I watched all the comments. Was like, everybody who knew him off wrestling was saying, yo, that's Sheiky baby. He used to get arrested every week for cocaine. Yo, he used to this and that. Like, they were like, Joe did. This ain't that.
That ain't this.
It's cracking kiss.
Make some noise for Moni Love. Get that new album.
Love Notes EP.
Love Notes EP.
Flexibility is great. That's why there's yoga. Flexibility for your insurance coverage is great too. That's why the United Healthcare Insurance Plans offer flexible, budget-friendly coverage for medical, vision, dental, and more. One of these plans may be right for you if you're, say, between jobs, coming off your parents' plan, turning a side hustle into a full hustle, or even missed open enrollment. Want more flexibility? Find out more about United Healthcare Insurance Plans at uh1.com.
Think Verizon is expensive? Think again. Anyone can bring their AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. So bring us your bill. Walk in, run in, pogo stick in, teleport if you can. Ride on the back of a rollerblading yak or fly in on the wings of a majestic falcon. Any way you can, bring your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today, and we'll give you a better deal on the best network. Based on Root Metrics Best Overall Mobile Network Performance, U.S. second half 2025. All rights reserved. Must provide very recent postpaid consumer mobile bill in the name of the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
Cold and flu season happens. And when it does, your skin deserves comfort. That's why Kleenex lotion tissues are made with moisturizing ingredients and offer 3-in-1 skin-loving benefits, helping protect, soothe, and moisturize your skin. So whether you're at home, on the go, or just living life, keep Kleenex lotion close for a little extra care that makes a big difference. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
In the age of AI, you can't rely on detection. Support and validate with Studiosity. Studiosity is at-scale writing feedback and assessment security for colleges that helps you confidently validate learning outcomes, not just police for cheating. Ensure students master critical thinking skills and protect degree value, pedagogically and ethically. Secure a spot for your school in the Early Access program. Visit studiosity.com/validate. Support and validate with Studiosity.
You can take your AT&T or T-Mobile bill into any Verizon store. They'll look at what you're paying and give you a better deal, period. You get the amazing coverage you want while keeping more cash in your pocket. Additional terms.
We're proud to serve your community because we believe where you get your medicine matters. So visit us at cvs.com or just come by our store. We can't wait to meet you. Store hours vary by location.
Every small business owner has that one moment that could have broken them. But remarkably, it didn't.
Team or bridging cash flow gaps. OnDeck's loans up to $400,000 help make it happen fast. Rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau and earning thousands of 5-star Trustpilot reviews, OnDeck delivers funding you can count on. Apply in minutes at OnDeck.com. Loan attributes. Your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank. OnDeck does not lend in North Dakota.
In the middle. Moni in the middle. Really?
So in Jada's show, every show, iconic, legendary show. But she's here because she's a legend partner over here. So, that right, Moni?
Yeah, I did it. I pulled it off.
I was getting ready to wrote that song. It felt good. The music was talking to me. It told me to write that, what I wrote.
You go to your kid's school, the teacher be like, we're gonna put her in the middle. You tired of that.
You should have patent. You should supposed to get some money off the middle of every.
Years later, people would see me and they wouldn't necessarily. It's all. It took some going back and forth with another attorney to straighten out some stuff that my dad was looking at before my father.
And nobody did not get robbed. I could break down Missy Elliott. I could break down Jelly Raleigh.
Did he?
I don't know. What I never said Rob. No, Rob Bass is from Harlem, man.
Two-time